Hello and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and stick around. Also, if you need help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. I also have some self-study courses about manifesting your specific person. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about something that is extremely popular among those who are manifesting their specific person. And that is, why have I been manifesting for a while and my SP, my specific person, is still not conforming? If you fall into this category, if you fall into this group of people and you're wondering what I just said, then you want to watch this video. So this is what I'll be discussing today. Stay tuned. So I know and I understand how frustrating it can be if you've been manifesting your specific person for a while, perhaps you're doing your technique, perhaps even on a daily basis or even multiple times a day. You feel like you're living in the end, you feel like you're revisiting the state of the wish fulfilled, and yet the 3D is yet not showing you a change. Your SP is not conforming, whether that means that they're still in no contact, if you were in no contact to begin with, or maybe you are in contact, but they're still showing you the old version, you're not seeing much of a change to the new version that you're creating, and in general, you're not seeing much movement in the direction that you want and in the direction that you've been manifesting. And rightfully, you're wondering why this is happening. Am I doing something wrong? What do I need to do? Do I need to do anything more? So this is what I want to cover in today's video, and it is a very, very important, fundamental, I would say, principle of manifesting. It doesn't only apply to manifesting a specific person, it applies to manifesting any desire, and it comes directly from my experience, both my personal experience as a manifestor who has been practicing for a long time now, for many years, but also my experience having coached many, many, many people. So if you're wondering why your manifestation is still stalling, even if you think you're doing all the right things, the answer usually and most commonly is to be found in you still dwelling in the past in one or more ways. In you still not having changed your identity to being the person who is receiving that new version of your SP that you are recreating. For a lot of people, the concept of conscious manifesting is all about doing their techniques, being consistent perhaps. Some people are even very religious in how they do their techniques, but then their inner state, their dominant inner energy, their dominant perceptions about the situation, in other words, how they view the situation, how they think about it, how they feel about it, what they expect to come out of it, does not actually change. And this is a problem because the techniques alone and the techniques by themselves are not going to change the 3D. What is going to change the 3D is your own inner state. While the techniques alone might bring you some results here and there, and they might bring you some movement here and there, even if you haven't changed your state, usually this movement and this change is temporary. Because you haven't changed within, because you haven't shifted to the new version of yourself, usually, sooner or later, it goes back to the old story. So a lot of people might be doing their inner practice, might be doing their techniques with a lot of consistency, but at the same time, they're still harboring resentment towards their specific person. They might still be harboring hurt towards what happened in the past. They might still be angry at them. They might still be feeling very sad about something that was said or something that was done or not said or not done. You get the gist. They might still be feeling very sad or very frustrated or very confused about how things ended with their specific person if you're in a situation where you're in separation, and perhaps they're in their head a lot, still overthinking it, still overanalyzing what happened, why they said what they said, why they did what they did, and so on, while at the same time you are doing your techniques and you're thinking and telling yourself and actually believing that you are in the state of the wish fulfilled, when in reality, a big part of you is still dwelling in the past and in the old story. It is also possible, if you're not dwelling in the past and in the old story, that you're dwelling on the current circumstances, on why things are so difficult with your SP, why it's so impossible to get your manifestation with them, why they have chosen someone else over you, or why they broke up with you, or why they're not committing to you, or why they're not conforming in whatever way you want them to conform. And so it's very, very likely, if you're not dwelling in the past, that you're dwelling in the present, but in a way that doesn't serve you and in a way that doesn't align with what you're actually working to create through your conscious manifesting. So if you ask me as a coach, both from a personal experience and from my extensive experience coaching a lot of people, this is the number one thing that holds people back when they're manifesting a specific person, is that they don't actually fully change their identity to that of the new person, the version of themselves that is receiving the new version of their SP, the version of themselves that is receiving the conforming version of the SP, and instead they're still stuck deliberating the past or deliberating the present circumstances or whatever they perceive as blocks and so on. And the reason this can be so disadvantageous to your manifesting is because you are essentially serving two masters at the same time. And as Neville told us, as the Bible told us, as many, many other teachers, spiritual teachers have told us, we cannot be serving two masters at the same time. If you are trying to create a new situation and a new reality, and at the same time, a big part of your consciousness, a big part of your energy, and a big part of your attention is still in the past, or in what you see as obstacles in the present, then you are trying to serve two masters at the same time, and this is why your 3D is not changing. This is why your SP is not conforming. If on the one hand, you're trying to do your techniques and telling yourself how much they love you and how they want to marry you and how you are happily married with a family and so on, but on the other hand, you keep deliberating what they did, what they said, what they did wrong, how they hurt you, how they didn't show up this way or that way in that occasion or the other occasion, and you keep feeding that resentment, and you keep feeding that negative energy towards them, and you keep recalling all the circumstances and overanalyzing and overthinking what went on in the past, then your answer is right there. Your SP is not conforming because you're not letting them conform. You are still trying to serve two masters. And the thing that tends to happen with the 3D is that when you're trying to serve two masters, and when you don't focus the majority of your attention and your energy on the right master, that is, the master that is aligned to what you want, the 3D doesn't tend to change. The reason for that is because the old story or the current circumstances are still more dominant in your thoughts, and they have been for a while, most likely. So by serving the two masters and by going back and forth in this way, you're not allowing and you're not helping the 3D to change into the new reality. And so your SP is not conforming because they keep receiving subconsciously that old energy from you. They keep receiving that old version from you over and over and over again. So pretty much you're not giving them any reason to change. And I mean that in a subconscious level. I don't mean that they're conscious of what they're doing or what they're not doing or how they're changing or how they're not changing. But while they are still receiving your old version over and over and over again on a frequent basis, which is the reality that is already established, that you're trying to de-establish, they are essentially compelled subconsciously to mirror that and show you no change, no conforming, no movement in the 3D, no shift in how they're showing up, and so on. Which is why it is very, very important to truly shift your state to the state and the identity of who you would be if you were receiving the version of your specific person that you want to experience. If a significant part of you is still in the past, or if it's still dwelling in the present obstacles or what you see as blocks, then you are blocking the 3D from conforming to what you want. That includes your specific person. And this is by far, in my experience, the main reason why people stay stuck in their manifestation of their SP for a long time, because they stay stuck in resentment, in anger, in hurt, in pain, in fear, in doubt, and so on. And they don't allow themselves to dive into that new reality and assume that new identity of the person who now has, fully has, not partially has, fully has what they want and the version of their SP that they want. If you're going to be partial in your manifesting, partially changing but partially not changing, you are making it much, much harder for the 3D to change, and that includes your SP to change. So I hope this is very clear. I hope this gives an answer to all of you who might feel stuck when you're manifesting a specific person, if you've been doing it for a while, and if you're seeing no movement, if you're seeing no shifts in the 3D. For a big number of you, that is probably your answer as to what you may be doing that may be holding you back. With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.